welcome. Today I am doing a question and answer, what do I call this again? An ask and answer an alliteration with Annika video. Now someone did point out in my last video that this is not technically alliteration because it's a vowel, but to that person I say, too bad, I'm keeping the name. Most people think of it as alliteration. So it came to my attention after a bunch of you posted photos of you wearing my new Real Style t-shirt designs that I had promised a giveaway. So I thought I would do a giveaway in this video but also combine it with a Q&A because there are 25,000 more of you than there were last time I did a Q&A video. So it gives a chance for the new people to get to know me and the old people to get to know me a bit better. So let's get into these questions. So a couple of people want to know what I go to uni for and what classes I do. So I'm studying a Bachelor of Science. I'm doing it part-time at the moment because of illness, but I'm majoring in molecular biology and microbiology, which is basically just like tiny biology. It's the biology of things that you can't see with the naked eye, so things you have to see under the microscope, like bacteria and viruses and fungi and proteins and genes and DNA. I get to do a lot of cloning, which is awesome. Cloning of single genes into bacterial cells, not cloning people. But it is so much fun, and apart from sewing, it's my other great passion in life. And a couple of people wanted to know where I see myself in 5 or 10 years. In 5 years, I'll be doing my PhD, hopefully. I want to go and do more research and stay at uni forever. If I'm doing a PhD, it's gonna be very hard to keep up with the YouTube and fashion thing, but somehow I'm gonna keep doing that as well. In regards to fashion, I would like to have this whole fashion, teaching people to sew thing kind of be a part-time job. That would be awesome. And have it help support me through doing a PhD and postgraduate work, which I either want to do in medical research or synthetic biology. Okay, then a whole bunch of you sent me hypothetical questions, which is fantastic because I love hypotheticals. If you could go back in time for one 24-hour period, what would you do? Like any time in history? Being a biologist, I think I'd want to go back to when the first cells arose. I'd take a microscope with me. I'd really love to be able to study those cells and hope that the cells that I take weren't, you know, the ones that were gonna become all life on Earth, because whoops, that would kind of suck. I'm the biggest nerd ever. Would you rather eat only pizza or chocolate for the rest of your life? Whew, okay, that's a hard question because I like chocolate better than pizza, but if I had to eat it for the rest of my life, I would go with pizza because you can make pizza more nutritional than you can make chocolate. Like, at least with pizza, you can add different vegetables and cheese and stuff on the top. So it'd keep you alive a lot longer than if you were only eating chocolate for the rest of your life. So, gonna have to go with pizza. If you could only wear 3 colors for the rest of your life, what would they be? Orange, dark blue, and gray. Because on a day when I feel like dressing up, I can wear a bright pop of orange with some gray or some blue. But on a day that I just kind of feel like blending in, or if I have to work or something, I can just wear blue and gray. So, yeah. Okay, how big is your wardrobe? Let's go look. This is my wardrobe. I would describe it as an organized mess. My dresses all hang up here, my bags go up here, my bags with faces get hats on them. Tops are here, skirts are here, pants are here. It's not huge, but there is a lot crammed in there and I do need to downsize. What's your favorite fashion era? The late 1950s. What color is your hair naturally? Like a ashy, blondie, brown color? Do you have a favorite brooch that you own? Yes! My best friend Katie got this for me from Estonia and it's a Soviet era vintage Mickey Mouse brooch. What is your favorite pajama t-shirt? I think everyone has one that tickles us but can't be worn in public. Yes, I absolutely definitely do. Okay, this is my favorite pajama t-shirt. My friends got it for me overseas and I think it's adorable. What's the most money you spent on a piece of clothing and what was it? About $200, and they are my Naot shoes. The shoes that I'm wearing in basically every single blog post and video post if you see my feet. They're the most comfortable shoes that I've ever owned and they were such a good investment. They're basically like walking on clouds. I'll link them in the description below if you want to get yourself a pair. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I just think they're awesome shoes. Would you ever want to start a clothing line? Well, I mean, I kind of did, but Like, they were just t-shirts. One day I would absolutely love to get the chance to design things that were more than t-shirts. That would be awesome. Yes, I would want to start my own clothing line. What's the biggest sewing mistake you've made? About a month ago, I tried to make a t-shirt. I used the same technique that I used in this tutorial, but my fabric, it was stretchy, but not quite stretchy enough. And I made it the same size. I managed to get it on somehow and then got completely stuck and almost couldn't breathe, and I had to get a pair of scissors and actually cut myself out of the fabric. So I destroyed about a meter of fabric doing that and almost killed myself. So yeah, that's the biggest sewing mistake I've ever made. Do you have any advice for someone who has a lot of different ideas for sewing projects but can't afford to buy material very often? Yes, I absolutely do, because I am in the exact same boat as you. I don't have a lot of money and I have billions of sewing ideas. And my way around that is to, instead of going to like Spotlight or fabric stores and buying fabric for like $30 a meter, I mostly get my fabric from thrift shops and sew using bed sheets. So this top, for example, was made using a bed sheet that I got from the thrift shop for I'd say about $3, and that was for about 3 meters or so of fabric. So finding bed sheets at thrift shops is a really good way to be able to sew if you don't have a lot of money. A lot of you want to know what my absolute favorite DIY piece is that I've ever made. Probably my functioning telephone handbag, mostly because it's ridiculous and also because it works as a telephone. Would you ever do any more Adventure Time inspired clothes? Your lemon grab jumper was super cute. Thanks! So I did a lemon grab jumper a while back where I embroidered lemon grab just on a simple plain black jumper, and I actually have made more Adventure Time clothes. Ugh. These are some shorts that I hand painted a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, they don't fit anymore, which is really sad, so I can't actually wear them. But no, I'm not giving them away to someone smaller than me. I'm just gonna like frame them or something because they took way too long and they're too good. And maybe I'll fit in them again one day. You've mentioned before that you battle with chronic illness. What keeps you going when you feel like giving up? So yeah, I have a chronic illness called Takayasu's arteritis, which is extremely rare. So it's been really difficult to treat, and it is something I'm gonna live with for the rest of my life. And I do feel like giving up very often. But the things that keep me going, craft. For the past week, I've actually had to mostly just be in bed. So I couldn't even sew, which sucked, but I discovered paper crafts, making things, cute things out of paper. So even when you have no energy and have to lie in bed, there is a craft for you. So like I made this puppy and this lemon. I made this tiger. I think most of these are for kids, but it was a lot of fun to do and really relaxing and stopped me from just lying in bed feeling sorry for myself. The other things that keep me going is that I've had to learn to be really kind to myself. I mean, this is important for anyone, but especially if you have a chronic illness. Like at the moment I can only do one subject at uni, but you have to learn to tell yourself that that's okay and not get angry at yourself for being able to do less. And that's not easy. It's taken me a good 2 or 3 years to learn how to do that. And well, I'm very lucky. I have some really supportive family and friends. One more thing that keeps me going is the interactions I have with you guys. When you let me know that I've helped you out or that you like something I've created, it really does make me feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile and keeps me going. So thank you. That got serious, so let's answer some weird questions that some of you sent me. Do you love me? I don't know you, but we can be friends. How many cats is too many? I would say if you're rich and you can afford to feed 200 cats, then 200 cats isn't too many. I don't think any amount of cats is too many. As long as they all have places to sleep and get cuddles and love, and you just spend your entire day cuddling 200 cats, then 200 cats is fine. Annika, you changed your hair color. Like 2 years ago. Where can you buy transfer paper in Ireland? I don't know because I don't live in Ireland, but you should look on eBay. Are you half Asian? No, I'm not. I'm very white. I'm half Eastern European, which may be why you're referring to my exotic features that are not very exotic. I'm just very Anglo, I'm very white. What is your opinion on the Andromeda Galaxy colliding with the Milky Way Galaxy in 3.9 billion years? Yeah, I'm not really that concerned about it. I think it's really cool that astronomers know that it's gonna happen. That's awesome. But it doesn't really keep me up at night. How many people have stopped you out and about and been like, holy beep, you're little pine needle / Annika before? It's probably happened about 10 times and it's been really weird / fantastic. People haven't really been like, holy beep. They've been more like nervously coming up to me being like, I'm really, really, really sorry for bothering you. Like I'm just gonna be like, yeah, God, don't you see that I'm busy? Get out of my face. What do you think you're doing? No, I don't. I'm always really, really excited when the few times it's happened, when people come up and say hi to me. It's awesome. It makes me feel like a celebrity and I love getting to meet people and talking to people about crafts. A lot of people want to know if I'm doing any collabs in the future and who would I like to collab with. Collab. It sounds like a disease like that your dog would get. Oh yeah, my dog's been really sick. What's he got? Collab. But I'm not doing any collabs at the moment, but hopefully I will be doing one with Crafty Amy in the future. And also I have a ridiculous dream, which will never happen, of doing a collaboration with Hank Green because he's just super nice and we could chat about science. And yeah. What do my friends and family think about my YouTube situation? They think I'm famous, which is weird because I'm not. My mum is my #1 fan and watches all of my videos. Hi mum. But it is something I don't talk about with them all that too often because it's this whole weird world that they don't really understand. Have you traveled outside of Australia? Yep, I have been to Hong Kong most recently. I've also been to Italy, Croatia and Japan. My favorite place in the world is a suburb in Japan called Shimokitazawa. It's the greatest suburb of all time. It's just packed full of vintage shops, the cutest cafes. They have a hammock cafe, I think they have a Darwin cafe, and lots of live music, fantastic street fashion, and it's just the greatest. So where do I want to go next? I really want to go to America. What's your favorite Harry Potter book or movie? Favorite book is #3, favorite movie is #6. How many marshmallows can you fit in your mouth? Well, I don't know, so let's find out. So among my friends, I'm known for having a particularly small mouth. I don't know why I'm telling you this because it's something I'm really self-conscious about because they tease me about it all the time. I know it looks pretty normal when it's closed, but look, this is the widest I can open my mouth. I don't know, my friends find it hilarious. Anyway, so to answer your question, That was pathetic. I seriously, I thought I would be able to fit the whole bowl in my mouth. Oh, damn it, marshmallows. I don't want to eat these anymore. I'm gonna throw these in a bin. I'm really disappointed in myself right now. I do have a tiny mouth. And on that note, I'm gonna finish this video now. But before I go, giveaway. I am giving away one of the t-shirts that I made. Unfortunately, Real Style doesn't ship to all countries, so check the country list in the description box below to make sure it ships to your country before you enter. I'm really sorry about that. And that's about it from me. See you next time. Bye!